Mini Jake, the tribe has spoken.
Fuck you, Kevin.
Aw, fuck you too, sweetie.
I'm JJ, one of the original Tribe of Nerds members. You can catch me on Marvel, Pokemon, and other gaming podcasts.
What up? It's Josh, resident superhero nerd, but I also dabble in the occasional super villain as well.
Some may know me as the Chaos Gremlin, but really I'm just Joe King.
Pikachu, use Volt Tackle! Good job, Pikachu!
On the Tribe of Nerds. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds. Kevin and I are here for Survivor 48 episode 9, and we get to talk about the downfall of our big lovable buffoon, David.
Oh, David. Hold on, I gotta change my headline here from the last one.
Yes, for anyone that doesn't watch our Lost content.
Yeah, if you don't watch the Lost coverage, you should go over and check that out because
yes,
John Locke. No, so David, poor sweet David. Yeah, I mean, I was just telling you a minute ago. I think the editing has been really good this season, and I feel like this was a satisfying conclusion to his story. We started to see his downfall. You know, like last episode, we started to see him kind of like really pushing to get Camilla out, and that not really going well, and like not being received very well. So yeah, it kind of seemed like when it came around to this episode, and he's still like not being received particularly well by his alliance. It's like, okay, it's his time. But yeah, poor sweet David, who's now single because his girlfriend broke up with him because he didn't win Survivor.
Yes, that news did break immediately after, like the day after he said it, and news media they reported it. So yeah, that's it's really sad because like it's just so funny how like he said it on the show, they put it in the show, and then it actually happened. So
yeah, and I will say too, like I know within the online community there's a lot of like hate for David. He's just a guy who played Survivor. Like he's doesn't play the way I would. That's fine. Like he's a little like a basic in his gameplay. Like that's fine. Like he didn't do anything wrong. He's just like a not great strategist, really good athlete. Good for him.
Agreed. Yeah, for me, I thought David's arc was setting him up to be like a 0 vote finalist almost. Although like
they can't all be 0 vote finalists, Jake.
I know that, but sometimes I see a lot of 0 vote finalist potential, and then I don't know. But his arc was set up like he did try to push really hard last week for Camilla, as you said. So it made sense for him to go this week. I just could have seen his arc going a little bit differently.
No, I kind of always noticed that he was he was never one of the power players in that alliance, you know. True. And he was pushing for like a good, honest game. And sure, the other people are saying that, but like the other people are not going to do that. So like I could always tell that he was like, even if it came down to that alliance, he was in trouble.
Yeah, I get that. David was just interesting to me. The honor and integrity thing, like it when it happens on Survivor, it's just very, very funny. The people that do try to push that narrative, because they always fail.
Because it's Survivor.
Yeah, it's Survivor, not I'm trying to think of a game that involves just being honest and
Right, I'm trying to think of like what game. Like I guess somewhat the summit. Like you can have your alliance that holds hands all the way to the end.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's possible because a couple people win it. I guess certain seasons of the challenge, right? Like you can get along with your team and you can all hold hands and cross that finish line together. But like most of the time, most of these shows, that's not how it's gonna go.
Right. Well, let's get into the other stuff that happened this episode. So the other real major thing was that Eva snuck out of camp at the beginning of the episode. Thinks no one is following her, but Shaheen notices and he wakes Joe up in the middle of the night.
Did you see the post that Shaheen made?
No, I did not.
He made a joke video post of like his camera pointed up at the like trees, and he was like, imagine you wake up to this, and he like pops his face up, and he's like, hey, shh.
That's so funny. I didn't see that.
Like it was as funny as it was funnier than it was in the episode. It was. Yeah. I'm really glad Shaheen is here. He's very funny.
Yeah, I like Shaheen a lot. I would like, just for being like the humor of the season, I wouldn't mind having him back at some point. So
yeah.
And he's a decent player, so I mean he's been good so far.
I think he currently is the like swing vote of the majority alliance. So I think he's a great player.
Yeah. I need to see how his game concludes, and then because I mean he could make the wrong decision, or he could get taken out. But I mean he survived a vote over Cedric. Like he should have been voted out probably over Cedric.
He should have been voted out. Like keep Cedric at that point because Cedric is not a threat in any way, shape, or form.
Exactly, and they chose to still keep him in the game. So that has to speak to how good of a player he is. But yeah, so Eva sneaks out of camp, and Joe's like, no, we'll just talk about it in the morning to Shaheen. And so Eva follows the torches for her advantage. So she initially gets an extra vote, good until final 7. She can risk it to get a safety without power. She does that. She gets that. She can risk again for another idol, but chooses not to. So what did you think about like these advantages of like, yes, you're risking something again, but this time like someone actually isn't losing their vote for once?
Right, someone's not just auto losing their vote. I liked the like you got something. Here's your advantage. You have something. Do you want to risk it? Do you want to? Here you are. The camera's on you. You're surrounded by all these torches in the middle of the night. You just snuck out of camp. Are you really going to go through all that not to even find out what's in the next level? Really?
Yeah.
Right? So, of course you're going to do it. And it would have been, amusing to see her pick the wrong one, but of course she picked the right one. And, then at the next point, now, you got a 50-50 chance. Yeah, risk it. Risk it for the safety of that power. Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But only a 33% chance of getting another idol when you've already got an idol? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm probably not doing that either. I mean, she already, safety without power practically is, it's not as good as an idol because you have to leave tribal and you can't vote. But, otherwise, it is basically an idol where you just don't have a say in what happens.
Right. And is this, so I like when safety without power is used to take away the power, right? So you give it, you force someone else to leave and you take away their ability to vote. So listen, you're safe, sure. You're safe for now because your alliance is going down because you're not going to be here to give your vote. I like that. So I love the possibilities of the safety without power.
Yeah, Luke, an Australian survivor, did that, where he sent someone back with it at the final 5, and then he was able to get his way with the vote. So, Yeah, I think that's like a really fun move to try with the safety without power. I think that's probably the optimal move, honestly. Unless like you're in danger, then obviously play it for yourself. But
Right. So yeah, I like having a safety without power in the game. I like having it with someone who is a very intelligent person, but also possibly a little snowed right now. So like it could be misplayed. Like there's a lot of possibility for how this could play out, and I like that.
Yeah, I agree completely. I like it as an advantage. I think it's better than a lot of other advantages that we've seen. Also, like, can we put to bed again the thing people claiming it's rigged for Eva? Because I really
I'm very strongly against the anti-Eva narrative.
Yeah.
Because it just comes from this weird place, right? Because it's like a paranoia. Like, first of all, let's just entertain this for a moment that they are rigging this for Eva. Why do you care?
Yeah.
Why do you care? Like, listen, is Ben one of my least favorite winners because they, in my opinion, I will die believing that they changed the rules at the last minute to get him to the finals. Yeah. Do I like harp on it and like think about it all the time? No. So like some of you just need to bring it down a notch.
Yeah, I agree.
So like we can start there, but then like to follow up on that, like what evidence do you have that they rigged it for her? Like it didn't say Dear Eva, right?
It said the player won the challenge.
Right. It was like because of your efforts in the challenge. So one of a couple things happened. One, she got it because she won immunity. Two, yes, they had assigned spots, but it was randomly placed like in one of their things. Right? Because just it's for your efforts in the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like it is probably like I am 99% sure that it was just given to the winner. Because it's also there's also so many, like it's a little rolled up thing, and like yes, we've seen people they sneakily take the little rolled up thing. We've seen it is like it's very possible to do that, but it's very possible to mess that up, and like it's very possible to be eating and not see it. It's very possible to like take it and somebody catches you. It's very possible that you notice it and you say something and then everybody knows. Like the idea that it, like something is just rigged for Eva is just like
yeah. I don't like
if she's the final four or she's in the final five and she gets like and it's just like something that has never happened before. It's a complete deviation from the rules of the game. It's like and like well, when have people ever won something for when have they ever won a reward for winning a challenge? I'm like they like how many times have we seen that a group gets to go to tribal council even though they have immunity and they get to watch?
Yeah.
Like
I just
for winning an immunity happen plenty of times. Like
I just rewatched Palau last week, and where Karora goes to watch Ulan's tribal council and they vote to give immunity to Ibrahim. Like that's an example. Ibrahim didn't do anything to earn that. He just literally was given it because they figured he was in danger of going home and they saved him. So
so like it's just nothing that happened in the episode was something we've never seen before. If at final five they invent some twist that keeps her safe, sure, I would be like, that's suspicious, right? Like in my best Cardi B voice, but now?
Yeah, I disagree as well with what the masses on Facebook that I've seen have been trying to claim. But Eva does tell her alliance about it the next morning, so they all trust her because Joe has been believing in her, and Shaheen has no other reason to distrust her because she is at least like coming forward with the information with him and like the people she's been working with. So
exactly.
So yeah, good on Eva there. And now we get this conversation, more honor and integrity. David and Joe argue about honor and integrity. And David has been telling Joe that he's breaking his word or whatever. He's going to break his word. And Joe is like, I never break my word.
This was signing your own death warrant, sir. Like,
yeah.
listen, if you want to confront somebody about that, you confront them at Final Tribal Council.
Yeah.
You do not do it when they have time to now set up a vote against you, right? Or like maybe you do it like right after Tribal Council when you've got days to like fix it. You don't do it when you have like hours for them to be like, well, you know what? Let me let this fester inside me before Tribal Council. Screw you. So just in so many ways a dumb move.
Yeah, and this is like half the episode on last Wednesday was like this argument of honor and integrity and this scrambling because of how badly David played this and everything. So it's just wild. And do I necessarily agree? Like, I do think Joe is like everybody is playing the game with having to do some duplicitous things, lie,
right,
whatever. So Joe isn't completely innocent, but you know, also like compared to everybody else, I mean, Joe has probably not lied as much as some other people, but like, you know, I think he will admit to it later of like he has broken his word to like maybe one or two people in the past.
Right. And I mean, here's the thing. You and I have watched many people play these games. You and I have played these games online. Like you can do it and minimize your lying, right? Yeah, exactly. And I think that's probably how Joe is playing, right? So like you do have to lie, right? Like when you're playing one of these games and you know, like if we know the vote is on Pirate Sarah, and Pirate Sarah comes to us like, okay, are you gonna like, okay, can we do this? And like, she's like asking for our help. We might in that conversation, like, yeah, sure. Like we might agree with her and then like not go along with it. Right. But like, yeah, like those sorts of things, like those sorts of conversations happen. And like you word things in such a way that like, well, I said I would think about it, or like, oh, well, you know, I said that was a good idea. I never said that I was definitely going to do that, right? Like, and I think that's probably the type of thing that Joe is doing, where like he's letting you kind of believe sometimes that he's completely on your side, and he's not. And I think it's probably that sort of like clever wording and like not committing to things that he's not able to commit to, but maybe agreeing that it would be a good idea if he could.
Yeah.
So yeah, I assume it's that sort of thing where like he can go back and be like, I assume he's also not doing that to people who he is known to not be working with, right? Like he's not working with Chrissy. He's not telling Chrissy that he's going, you know, like I assume it's that sort of thing too. Of like, no, when it's someone that he's not aligned with, yeah, he just straight up tells them. If it's someone he's aligned with,
yeah,
maybe doesn't look him right in the eye.
Yeah, you can bend the truth a little bit.
Yeah. So I assume it's that sort of game, which I think minimizing the lies that you tell is good jury management. I think that helps you with them down the road. So
exactly, and in games I've played, like I always try to, or most of the time, I always try to. You know, try to be as honest as I can, and if I do make a deal with someone like for a round, I will try to keep it to the best of my ability. If I can do it without hurting my own game in these Survivor games that we played.
Exactly.
And so
exactly. So yeah, I think that's exactly what Joe's doing.
Yeah. So that all goes down. And now we go to the reward and immunity challenge, and this is hold down to the bar, push it up, and hold up the ball without letting it fall. We've seen this a few times, and you have to stand on the step. If you fall off, then you're also out.
Yes.
And it comes down to David versus Joe, and David surprisingly just falls off at the end.
This challenge is such a weird challenge because I was really looking at it, trying to make it make sense, and like because the way it's shaped, like it's kind of wedged in, but like as soon as it comes out of that wedge, it's going downhill. So like you've got to push it up more than it came down to like re-wedge it. So like it's very easy to like notice that you let up that little bit of tension and it started to fall, and you put back the same amount of tension and that doesn't work, and so like you don't realize it right away. It's also an incredibly difficult like holding your hands this way is very hard. Like they're not even, and the way they had it, like you could tell they weren't like it had to have been a rule that you couldn't hold it like one arm, you know, like you had to hold it this way. And they also had like a thing that kind of like it was like something kind of sticking out of the handle, so they couldn't have it against their body.
Yeah, yeah, and the fact that the ball can't go back up the little chute, wherever you catch it, like that's where it stays for the rest of the challenge.
Yes.
So.
And yeah, like it roll when it moves. When it moves, it goes like you have to push up higher than where it was before. So like it's also like that's why a lot of them, as soon as it moved, they were out because they moved it like back up to where they had it, but that wasn't enough. And like it's kind of like oh wait higher, but like as you realize it needs to go higher, it's now moved farther and needs to go even higher. So like it's a very easy one to mess up.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'd probably be out pretty quickly. So I feel like
I think I would be similar to like a Kyle in these challenges. Like I would last long and I would do well, but at the end of the day, I'm no Joe, I'm no David.
Yeah, you're not Superman.
Right. But keep me around so that I can beat them later. Don't like you're gonna need me to beat them later.
Right. Exactly. So Joe wins the immunity. Because Mitch has not been on a reward, he does bring Mitch, and then he brings
nice
Johnny
of him.
Eva. What was that?
I mean, Avid, what was he not gonna bring Eva? Of course he's bringing Eva.
Well, we knew that, yeah.
He and Eva like anyone who is like upset or surprised by that needs to like check your notes, because like of course he's bringing Eva. They have been since before the merge an obvious duo. Yeah. There's no point in not taking each other. So good. And yeah, like it becomes a thing sometimes, and I don't want to reference my least favorite season of all time. Because that was ridiculous when she had her temper tantrum about Applebee's. But like it does become a like someone feeling like they're being picked on, right? That like I never get to go on these. Like I just barely don't win, and then I never get to go. So like I'm glad that we don't have that storyline happening. You know, like I like that it's a generally positive vibe season.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like Mitch is awesome, so I mean I'm so glad that he got to finally go on this reward, and that Joe was willing to do that. Like, let's say that, you know, maybe he only gets to pick one person. I actually do think Joe would have picked Mitch for like the reason that he hasn't been there.
Yeah. I think Mitch was always going to be Joe's first choice, because even if, and I've seen something like, oh, well, Joe's actually a bully. Okay, but like he's at least aware that he needs to not do that on camera. So like, yeah, like he's at least going to be like, oh, I need to, for the sake of people not thinking that I'm a bully, that I need to do this. So yeah, I think that was always going to be his first choice.
Yeah, I feel like some of the online community will call anyone a bully on Survivor. So
exactly.
I feel like I'm trying to think of a Survivor who was in no way that way that they would call, like, besides Joe. I feel like there's been other seasons where someone is a very nice person and then they will call them a bully. So
like Jerry. LOL.
Yeah, Jerry back in the day. That's a perfect example, because Jerry was the biggest villain in America.
Jerry's actually one of the nicest people. Like Jerry is one of the people at the Hearts of Reality that I have had like one of the best experiences with. I love Jerry.
Yeah, I think Jerry's awesome as well. The people that attacked her back in the day are just weird. So the reward happens. We do get Star practicing swimming. So we get that. And then David, Mary, and Star talk about if the others will make a move on them. Mary and David do theorize that maybe they would try to make a move on them. Like, they talk about it in this episode. And it is weird because I feel like they say it. I mean, I feel like David had some correct reads, actually. They just didn't... they didn't quite act on those reads correctly.
So David's right,
Mhm.
right? That like he was thinking that the 5 was him, Joe, Kyle, and then Eva and Shaheen.
Mhm.
And so he was seeing he's looking for a 6th person, not realizing that everyone else is already considering Camilla. Because he's out of that loop. So he's looking for the 6th. He wants to be Mary. He gets pushback because the rest of them already want Camilla.
Mhm.
So he's sensing that, like, oh, there's this thing with Camilla, and they already have deals with Camilla, and like he's right, they do, and especially Kyle. Like, yeah, Kyle was absolutely not going to vote out Camilla the episode before. Like, are you out of your mind? Like, at this point, if I'm Kyle, I'm going to the end with Camilla, and like, if I lose Camilla, I lose Camilla, and that's fine because there's no way that the way they played the swap so perfectly without even speaking about it, right? Like they didn't even talk about a strategy. She just made up some bullshit. And he understood the assignment and just went with it. And they're still not being clocked as a duo. Absolutely not. The only person who's clocking it is David. So like,
yeah, and he's gone now.
And he's gone. So yeah, and even so Kyle is like planting the seeds in Shaheen's head. So Shaheen is coming to Camilla's defense as well. So then David is also reading that and like, oh, well, Camilla's close to Shaheen. And like not even fully clocking the Kyle and Camilla duo. So like if I'm the two of them, if I'm Kyle or Camilla, I'm going to the end with the other one, and if I lose to them, I lose to them. But like that is like I'm alive in the game because of them, and if I lose to them, then I can't be mad at that.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, and David tries to be Boston Rob. Hey, David. Smarten up.
Yeah, listen, sometimes we kind of like dunk on Boston Rob a little bit, right? Because like he did have it easy in Redemption Island.
Yeah.
But this is just a reminder that he is a significantly better player than someone like David.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Boston Rob made it work in Redemption Island. David is not that.
Right. You could put David on Redemption Island as the Boston Rob, and David might not win that season.
I think
he might still screw that up.
I think he goes out in 9th place still. So most likely, maybe even earlier. I don't know.
Yeah, you had Andrea there. You had a couple people there who would have played around him.
A couple, yeah. All right. So yeah, David gets blindsided 6-3 over Mitch. I guess it's a blindside because I guess they didn't.
They say blindside, but he was like he and Mary were sitting there like it's gonna be one of us.
Right. I
don't think it was that
that's
big of
what
a
was confusing about me, but
I think that people had been telling him it wouldn't be him, and so therefore, like in that sense, it was a blindside, and like in the sense that like, is it going to be him? Is it going to be Mary? Like I think in that sense, sure, that was but I think in terms of a blindside, this is like a lower level.
It's not like a complete utter blindside that nobody saw coming. Yeah. All right, so anything else you want to talk about? Are we ready to hit our draft check-in and our predictions for next week?
No, I do. I like the editing that they did to really show off Kyle and Shaheen's ability to plant seeds in other people. Yes. That was really good on them. So like I think those are currently the two front runners. I would not be surprised if it came. So like they're trying to set up a 4-4 thing for next week. We'll get into predictions, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't either. We'll get to that in a sec. Let's do our draft check-in. Pirate Sarah loses David.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. And then Kevin is now in the lead with 3. Cam and Sarah have 2. I am down to just Eva. And Yeah, I mean, maybe Sarah will come in last again at this point. Who knows?
Yeah, I think as much as I love my rising star, I don't think Star is winning this season.
No.
I think Star's redemption Star's already had her redemption from her bad start. I think she's going to go a couple more rounds, but I don't think Star is winning. I think the edit lately has been kind of hiding Camilla, but I do think Camilla, like, there's room for her to still have a strong end game edit, and I think that with her early game, I think like she could still be in it. And then Kyle, I think, is getting one of the best edits of the season. So
yeah, he's a front runner, I think.
Yeah.
Too.
So I think my team is looking great. I think I don't think Mitch can win, kind of similar to Star. I think I'm still waiting for the fulfillment of "I'll sacrifice my game for her" quote by Joe. Still waiting for that. So I think yo ho, the pirate's out. Who does? Oh, Marion Shaheen. I think Shaheen. I think Shaheen is also. I think Shaheen and Kyle are the current top two. Like, we have the best view of their ability to play the game, I think.
I agree.
And then I love Mary. Mary's just like a little gremlin. I love her.
Yeah, little chaos gremlin, if you will.
So yeah, I think Cameron is a pretty, like, his team that he has left is a fairly big threat to mine. And then I do love Eva. I think Joe is the, like, more well liked of the two of them, and I think Joe is going to go before her. So I don't know that she is going to be able to articulate her game very well yet, right? Like, she's very cut and dry. So I think if she's at the end, I think she has a hard time explaining nuance, and like how decisions that maybe didn't seem great actually worked out well for her. You know, like, I don't know that she's going to have that ability to talk, and I think she's going to be against people who will have that ability. So I love Eva. I will be happy if she does win, but I don't see her as the winner.
Right. So predictions, looks like next week we are set to get a 4v4. You don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen.
Who would the 4 be? Like, because right now we've got the 5 left, right? So we've got Joe and Eva and Shaheen and Kyle and Camilla, right? Yes. We've got that 5 left.
Right,
and then we got Mitch, Star, and Mary, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's 4-on-4. Like, no. I think somebody thinks it's 4-on-4. I think one of these 3 probably thinks it's 4-on-4. But I don't think it's. I think they still think Camilla is not. Like, I think some of them still think Camilla is not with them.
Right.
I think that's why some of them think it's going to be 4-on-4. But I don't think that's how that's going to work. And I think it probably comes down to the 5 of them. It probably comes down to the 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at that point, Shaheen, like, I think Eva and Joe both think Shaheen is with them, and I think Kyle and Camilla both think Shaheen is with them. I think Shaheen is probably with Kyle and Camilla. I think he probably doesn't want to go to the end against Joe.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So that's how I see that playing out.
Yeah, I think that's a good prediction. Yeah, when you say it like that, I realize, because I was like, yeah, who is the 4? Because I knew 3 of them, and then I'm like, now that you say it, I'm like, yeah, they don't actually have 4 looking in.
I think that they have played down the Kyle and Camilla duo so well. I think they think Camilla is over here with them as like a free agent. So you've got like a strong alliance of 4, and then you've got 4 freelancers over here. But that's not what it really is.
Yeah, I think it's probably Mitch or Mary next week, maybe Star, but I think I could see Star being like cut right before the finale or
I think they all kind of. I think Shaheen, I think Joe and Eva at least all kind of see Star as a potential. Like, if we need somebody to make a move, we can keep Star. So I think Star will stick around. I think Mitch is just like he hasn't had a lot of agency for a while.
Right.
And like going back to that, like the editing setting people up so that they have satisfying conclusions. He's had his reward now. He got to go on a reward. Like he's had the ability to explain his stutter, and like no one even like notices or comments on it anymore. And they just talk like I think he's had his entire arc happen. So I think that it would be a satisfying time for him to go. I feel like it's been that way for a couple weeks though, and he has snuck by, so I could see him sneaking by. I think Mary, I would like to see Mary just go a little bit further. She's just a little chaos demon, and I like that.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Mitch or Mary still, but I like both of them. So
yeah,
we'll see
I
what
really like
happens.
Mitch. I'm very glad that Mitch has outlived some of my previous predictions.
Yeah.
Like I like Mitch. Mitch is great. So I will be very happy to be wrong. I'm thinking it's going to be Mitch, and if like Mitch wins immunity or somehow like convinces people not to vote for him, then I mean Mary. Who does Mary have? Because none of her original tribe is left, and she had David, and David's gone. So like I could also very easily see it being Mary.
Right. I agree.
Mary.
I agree. All right. Well, that is week 9. So next week we do have week 10. So keep an eye out for that, and go check out Survivor 1 through 50. We've got the first 3 episodes right now on the first 3 seasons. So go watch Borneo, Australia, and Africa.
Like, comment, subscribe, share, and wait, didn't you get Tina?
Yes, and we got yes. Thank you for bringing that. We did get Tina Wesson, the winner of Survivor Australian Outback. So
winner of Australian Outback, unjustly first boot of All Stars.
Yes,
almost winner of Blood vs. Water.
Yes,
so we legend, the icon.
Yes, so Shane and I are doing Survivor What If as well, in companion with Survivor 1 through 50, and so we talked to Tina about that. We did scenarios for all 3 of her seasons, so
Amazing.
Go check that out. It's a great little interview that I think we're going to do that for all Survivors we get on with the 1 through 50 series and What If. So with that, go check those out, subscribe, like, comment, share, and we will see you all next week for more Survivor on the Tribe of Nerds.
Fuck you, Sarah.